Good evening, Africa, and welcome to the United States of Africa broadcast. My name is Akosua Prempe, and today I bring you a powerful and historic update from the heart of Mali. Across the continent, a new chapter is being written, a chapter of sovereignty, innovation, and African-led security. We take you now to Bamako, where the BAMX 2025 International Defense and Security Exhibition has opened its doors for the very first time. This groundbreaking event brings together African leaders, military experts, innovators, and international partners under one shared vision to equip Africa with the technology, strength, and unity needed to secure its own future. From next-generation drones with fighter jet capabilities, to advanced ammunition production, to deepened cooperation between the Sahel Confederation and Turkey, BAMX 2025 is more than an exhibition. It is a declaration that Africa is preparing to defend itself with dignity, intelligence, and technological power. Before we continue, I encourage all our viewers across the continent and the diaspora to subscribe, like, comment, and share this broadcast. Let us continue to connect all Africans, strengthen our unity, and amplify the message of a secure, sovereign, and united Africa. Now, before we roll the full video, I want to hear from you, because your voice matters in shaping the future of our continent.
Mr. Ibrahim Maiga, what is the capability of this drone?
This drone has capabilities similar to cargo aircraft. It strikes like the F-16 team's cargo planes.
And does it drop bombs?
It also drops bombs.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to this special news broadcast from the International Defense and Security Exhibition. This exhibition has officially set up its headquarters here in the park at the Bamako Exhibition Center, and it was the Prime Minister, Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization, Major General Abdul Maiga, who officially opened the doors of this exhibition to the general public. A historic event that is opening up to Mali and the whole of Africa. Decision makers, officers, and researchers are gathering here for 4 days of discussion, 4 days of showcasing the Turkish military industry. The opening ceremony took place with Mamari Kone and Alu Touré.
Africa finds itself at the heart of an unprecedented security and geopolitical challenge, a situation that undermines its stability and jeopardizes its development.
In such a context, security can no longer be considered an option, but rather an obligation. It stands as an essential condition for the survival of states, for the protection of populations and the sovereignty of African nations. The success of the existential fight against terrorism now requires anticipation, innovation, and genuine strengthened cooperation. In the face of these numerous challenges, Africa has no choice but to build an autonomous security architecture based on cooperation and pooling of resources. It is with this in mind that Their Excellencies Captain Ibrahim Traoré, President of Burkina Faso and Head of State, General Azmi Goweta, President of the Transition, Head of State and President of the Confederation of Sahel States, and General Abdurrahmane Tiani, President of the Republic of Niger, had the brilliant idea to create, on September 16, 2023, the Alliance of Sahel States, which became the Confederation of Sahel States on July 6, 2024. The overall objective of this new confederal sub-regional integration entity is to eradicate terrorism by pooling the efforts of our states through the creation of a unified force with a single command.
The BAMX 2025 International Defense and Security Exhibition aims to be a unique event on the continent. Under the theme, Africa at the heart of global defense innovations, this event aims to modernize African armed forces and strengthen their capabilities in order to meet the security challenges of the 21st century. In this way, Bamako is positioning itself as a strategic hub for military cooperation, as well as a central player in redefining African security partnerships.
The Bamako International Defense and Security Exhibition, BAMX 2025, was born from this deep conviction that the security and sovereignty of African nations must first rely on their own forces, their own expertise, and their own alliances. BAMX 25 is designed to foster partnership and dialogue among decision makers, industry leaders, researchers, defense forces, startups, and investors. The goal is to collectively envision the defense of the future, an intelligent technological defense in the service of stability and sustainable development. an event of international scope to build a safer, more sovereign, and more resilient Africa.
According to the head of government, traditional financing models based on external assistance and foreign military loans have shown their limitations. In response to the situation, Turkey is proposing innovative approaches based on industrial cooperation and co-financing, as suggested by the director of the exhibition. At the end of this 4-day exhibition, the Prime Minister expects strengthened solidarity among African nations and their partners, the transfer of technologies, the development of a local defense industry, as well as the emergence of a new generation of strategic partnerships based on sovereignty, responsibility, and dignity.
And so the first edition of the International Defense and Security Exhibition is underway, a show that is generating a lot of excitement here at the Bamako Exhibition Center. Proudly supported by the Republic of Turkey, this exhibition allows security professionals to witness firsthand Turkey's expertise in armaments and to establish contacts on site. For more on the opening ceremony of the International Defense and Security Exhibition, here is Arju Matina.
Proudly supported by the Republic of Turkey, an industrial giant in armaments, the International Defense and Security Exhibition BAMX Bamako Expo 2025, which is being held for the first time in Mali, takes place in a context where the global environment is constantly changing and where security and technological challenges demand innovative and coordinated responses. This is why it was absolutely necessary for Mali to initiate such a technological space.
Where this beautiful chapter in the glorious history of our country and the African continent is being written, we must give thanks to the Almighty who listens to us and guides us. We must express our deep gratitude here. To His Excellency, General Assimi Goïta, President of the Transition, whose visionary outlook for Mali and steadfast benevolence have enabled us to make this event a reality, which makes our country one of the few on the continent to dare to take on the Herculean challenge of imagining, preparing, and organizing an exhibition dedicated to defense and security. The Republic of Turkey, it must be said without reservation, stands firmly by our side at a highly critical moment, so there is no need to reiterate the qualities required to write the promising history of our cooperation between our states in the field of defense and security on the continent. BAMX 25 is a rare, if not unique, opportunity to discover technological innovations and to interact directly with players and experts in the security and defense sector.
A true platform for sharing, discovery, and collaboration, bringing together armed forces, governments, experts, and industry professionals from Africa and around the world, the exhibition will allow stakeholders in the field to acquire international know-how, particularly that of Turkish partners in the strategic area of defense and security.
The Malian people feel a deep sense of great pride and genuine honor in warmly welcoming high-level delegations to their country to discuss important common issues and to work together for lasting peace in a true spirit of solidarity. This is all for building win-win partnerships, completely free from any notion of domination or power dynamics. This exhibition is concrete proof that Mali is indeed a respectable destination and intends to take its rightful place on the international stage. Despite the long-standing plot and the ongoing media smear campaign, Mali will endure. Our respective heads of state, Presidents Goïta and Erdogan, both share and support this vision of the world, based on mutually beneficial win-win cooperation. I invite you to take advantage of the 4 days of BAMX to develop partnerships and strengthen your South-South networks. I am sure that this event will be remembered.
The idea for the BAMX International Expo was born from the success of last year's demonstration, which was organized by Mali's transitional government in collaboration with Turkish companies. This year, it is once again the initiative of Mali's transitional government to build on that success and bring the world together here in Bamako. This time, there are even more Turkish companies, and among them are several industry leaders, not only at the national level, but also internationally. This strengthened presence of the Turkish private sector, which we are proud to witness, once again demonstrates that Turkey is a reliable partner for Mali and will not abandon it in these difficult times.
Thus, with BAMX 2025, a new perspective of cooperation and win-win partnership in the strategic field of defense and security is opening up for Mali in particular and the African continent in general. Over the course of several days, the event will revolve around exhibitions of technologies and equipment, conferences and roundtables, as well as B2B spaces for decision makers, industry professionals, and investors.
After the opening ceremony, let's now go to the stands to see what is actually being offered to visitors. Among these visitors are officials who have been able to witness firsthand the talent of the Republic of Turkey in the field of armaments. Alongside Turkey, there are also exhibitors from the AES, including a Malian company, Karim SA. Let's take a look at all these aspects in this report by Abdul Karim Kaba.
The International Defense and Security Exhibition is built around a simple yet powerful idea, bringing together nations, defense industries, and innovators under one roof. At the stands, companies are showcasing marvels in terms of armaments, cartridges, and bulletproof vests, just to name a few.
Very happy and also very ambitious. We are happy, and on top of that, people are coming, asking us a lot of questions about the products, and they are discovering new things, weapons they are not used to seeing. And they are happy too. The pleasure is mutual. Here right now we have 12-gauge shotguns, assault rifles in 7.6 2x39 caliber, and also in 9mm, as well as automatic pistols.
At the AS stand, the unit for the production of cartridges, supply, and distribution of security and law enforcement equipment, one of the representatives from the Confederal area is presenting the Medine Mali to us.
We are a munitions manufacturing factory. So we are in the hunting sector. We've been in Mali for 25 years, and we are one of the only factories in the sub-region exporting all over West Africa. So I would say that this exhibition should have happened a long time ago, because in 25 years we've never had an event like this in Mali. In fact, it's an opportunity, a chance for us to really show what we're capable of. And the experience we've gained in the field, it's all in the security sector. I understand it's a sensitive area, but I think right now there's potential.
Visiting the booths allowed guests to see the latest generation of weapons. Moreover, they have 4 days, the duration of BAMX, to discover, observe, and examine the most innovative defense products.
If the International Defense and Security Exhibition hadn't existed, it would have needed to be invented. At least that's the opinion of visitors here at the Bamako Exhibition Center. They also believe that it's an opportunity to engage in B2B exchanges in order to find solutions to security problems, especially for AIS countries and for countries around the world in these current times. These are comments that were collected by Abdul Karim Kaba.
A country like Turkey, which has experienced nearly 40 years of war, has managed to set up a defense system. This is something that also concerns us, the AS countries. We too must be able to establish this kind of defense system in the near future. Without a defense system, there is no viable defense. You know, when it comes to defense, there are innovations happening everywhere, and it's good that from time to time we can see what others are doing, and that can also inspire us so that we can make progress in this field. And this exhibition comes at just the right time, especially now when some people, naysayers, were saying that Bamako was deserted, that the population had left, and so on. Here we are today in Bamako, and as a member of an AES country, we are proud to be able to participate in this exhibition. It shows that Bamako is perfectly safe to visit, and that what the lying media says is truly nothing but lies.
BAMX 25 is a place for exchange. It is a forum of significant international standing. It is a place for meaningful exchange between key decision makers and a place for important exchange between the defense forces for Africa from now on. Not just to be considered a mere spectator, passively confined to the stands, but rather to be recognized as a key and active player in their own right, fully participating in every aspect. That's exactly why we all need to work together, collaborating closely and using the same unified approach. The same approach means having robust and resilient defense industries so that we can effectively defend Africa and ensure its security, stability, and prosperity for the future. Africa belongs to Africans. We are here in Mali, a country rich in history, a country that is a pioneer of culture. Who doesn't remember Sundiata Keita and more recently Modibo Keita? I believe that democracy started here in 1236 before it did in the West.
The guest for this third edition of the special news program dedicated to the International Defense and Security Exhibition is Colonel Mtarola. He is a member of the organizing committee for this exhibition. He is also the head of the infrastructure section at the General Staff of the Armed Forces. Good evening, Colonel.
Good evening.
From Democalic, we've come to BAMX today. We can say that ambitions have grown. And what was the idea behind the creation of BAMX?
Last year, in 2024, there was the Democanique, which brought together the states of the Sahel Confederation, plus Togo and the Turkish partner. So this event took place at the National Police School, so it was somewhat centrally located. So the authorities, still under the initiative of the transitional government led by His Excellency Army General Asmi Boita, took the initiative this year to organize a large-scale, significant and impactful exhibition, meaning that ambitions and aspirations have grown considerably. So instead of it being only exhibited and demonstrated at the police school as in previous years, this year they moved forward to the idea of BAMX, which stands for the Bamako Defense and Security Expo 2025. This marks a notable shift, as the event will now reach a broader audience and have a much greater impact.
There is a lot of excitement around this expo, given the atmosphere here at the Bamako Exhibition Park. So the Prime Minister opened the doors to this expo on Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. Tell us, did all the invited guests attend?
Yes, that's correct. The guests did attend. Because, Madam, you know, among the guests, we have about 15 invited countries who responded to BAMX's invitation. So 15 countries are represented. 5 of them are represented by their ministers of defense. For example, Niger is represented by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Defense, who is standing in for the Minister of Defense. There is the Vice President of Turkey's defense industry, who is also a major authority in the military field in Turkey, and who, by the way, reports directly to the Turkish presidency. Then we have the Deputy Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, who is also the Minister of Defense, also attended this exhibition. Then we also have 10 generals coming from countries with significant populations, such as Morocco and other countries like Iran and many others. I couldn't name them all here.
What can we see here in terms of weaponry? There
are many types of weapons. There are machine guns, grenade launchers, pistols. Moreover, as you can see, there are also drones that are very useful in the fight against terrorists. They are also on display at this exhibition.
So Malians are wondering about the usefulness of this exhibition for Mali. We know that we are facing terrorism today. What is the usefulness of this exhibition for Mali?
This exhibition has a very great importance for Mali. First of all, in the sub-region, there is no doubt about it for anyone. Everyone knows that for the past 15 years, we have been facing this problem of terrorism. So if the opportunity for such an exhibition is given to Mali, I think it can only work in our favor. We are committed to this resilience, and this exhibition will help increase Mali's visibility and also Mali's acceptability within the sub-region.
We have seen that it is mainly the Turkish military industry that is being showcased. So why choose Turkey? What explains this choice?
The choice of Turkey is also because Turkey is one of the countries that respects the 3 principles of Mali's government action. Namely, first and foremost, respect for sovereignty. Mali's national sovereignty. Secondly, respect for Mali's choice of partners. And thirdly, taking into account the vital interests of the Malian population.
So on Thursday and Friday, this exhibition will move a bit to Koulikoro for demonstration sessions. How will these demonstrations take place?
The 2 days of demonstrations in Koulikoro will be dedicated to the practical demonstration of the weapons that are on display here at the exhibition. So this will allow everyone to make up their minds about these weapons.
All right, it's true that we've already mentioned the objectives, but repetition is a good way to learn. What is the aim of this BAMX 2025?
Turkey's ongoing innovation in defense technology will also be notably leveraged to further strengthen our resilience in our mission to defend the homeland.
So the public is very interested in this exhibition. Is the general public invited to this exhibition, and what are the requirements to be able to visit here?
Very good question, madam. Indeed, that's what we ultimately decided. For this exhibition, visits are open to the entire population. So we are taking advantage of your platform and this set to call on the general public to come tomorrow, Wednesday, the second day of the exhibition, to visit the armaments on display. Because this too is part of building the population's resilience, which is the goal sought by the defense and security forces. So we are asking the entire public to come. They will just be checked at the entrance and then they can visit the exhibition. For the military, visits are also allowed.
So the call is made to the general public to come and visit the International Defense and Security Exhibition. Thank you, Colonel.
Affirmative. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you.
This interview brings to a close this third edition of the special news program dedicated to the International Defense and Security Exhibition. A large team has been here on site to serve you, with Bemba CB in charge of coordination. We hope you found it interesting to follow us, and we invite you to join us again tomorrow for another edition. Thank you for your attention. Enjoy the rest of our programming on our channels.
Brothers and sisters, Africa is changing and your opinion is part of that transformation. So share your thoughts in the comments. 1. Do you believe events like BAMX 2025 are essential for Africa to build its own strong and independent defense system? Why or why not? 2. How important is it for African nations to develop their own weapons, technologies, and military industries instead of depending on foreign powers? Let your voice be heard. Leave your answers below, and together let's continue building one Africa, one voice, and one destiny.